Hey, what's up YouTube? Back again with another video regarding the California propositions. I'm going to California proposition you now to talk about Proposition 31. Proposition 31 is basically, this is a tricky one. What it is it's state and local government initiative for constitutional amendment and statute to basically establish 2-year state budget, set rules for offsetting new expenditures, and governor budget cuts in fiscal emergencies. Local governments can alter application of laws governing state-funded programs. Fiscal impact: decrease state sales tax revenues of $200 million annually, with corresponding increases of public funding to local governments. Other potential more significant changes in state and local budgets depending on future decisions by public officials. Sounds confusing, right? Sounds like a whole lot of I don't know what's really going on, but at the same time they added $200 million annually will go down in terms of budget. Okay, this is what a yes vote would give you. Certain fiscal responsibilities of the legislator and governor, including state and local budgeting and oversight procedures, would change. Local government that creates plans to coordinate services would receive funding from the state and could develop their own procedures for administering state programs. You hear that and you don't think there's any problem, but a couple words. Certain fiscal responsibilities of the legislator and the governor, including state, and local budgeting and oversight procedures, would change, such that local governments could get money from the government to develop their own plans or whatever. They'd receive funding. So what that's saying is that the government, through this proposition, the governor, would have the ability to use one municipality's funding, reduce their funding in a certain areas to boost the funding of another areas because it's a certain plan that they have interest in. For example, I'm not saying this is related to this, but this is what I'm thinking of. An example is the high-speed rail that Jerry Brown's trying to put in California. It's entirely possible that he could rob from LA County to pay another county to develop this light rail system, even though I believe it is in LA County. But use the city of Cerritos, for example. I live in Cerritos. You could see state funding decrease in certain areas to bolster another area that Jerry Brown has something that he likes. And it gives him control in those areas, or it takes control away from our elected city officials, something that we don't want. A no vote in this measure. So this is the wording of the votersguide.sos.ca.gov, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it covers it okay. The fiscal responsibilities of the legislator and governor, including state and local budgeting and oversight procedures, would not change. Local government would not be given funding to implement new plans that coordinate services. So that's not really true, but what it's saying is it won't be given funds for new things through this proposition. Key note, it's just the proposition. When you look at these, it's just talking about what this will do. 2, authority to develop their own procedures for administering state programs. Again, they can administer state programs that already exist, that are already in place, and ones that they've brokered a deal with that has nothing to do with this proposition, so don't get too scared over that. So the arguments yes have been, a yes on 31 will stop politicians from keeping Californians in dark about how their government is functioning. It will prevent the state from passing budgets behind closed doors, stop politicians from creating programs with money the state doesn't have, and require governments to report results before spending more money. If you believe that a single proposition could do all of that and prevent backdoor deals or backdoor any discussions, then I don't know what this video is going to serve for you. The fact that this one proposition would give more power to the higher level, the governor, and the upper level legislation body of the state, pretty much for me, says it's a no. What do you think, Leah?
Well, my biggest issue with the proposition is that even if for some reason the funds became available for the schools, once they cut the funding, they're not able to spend that budget surplus on the schools.
Right.
So it gives no ability to actually manage the budget. It's unilateral cuts, control to really one office, which is a huge issue. Mm-hmm. And
it creates a whole new sector of communication from the local individuals to the state level.
Exactly.
Which is just more people with jobs that we don't necessarily have to pay for or should pay for.
Paying for new bureaucracy is not the way to reform a bankrupt system.
Yeah. So something that Leia had mentioned earlier, which I agree with, is Proposition 31 is almost like the backdoor deal of getting some money from the cities if Jerry Brown can't get the money from the individuals through Proposition 30, which I think is a good point. So that's a no on 31. All right, guys, take it easy. I'll be coming back with 32 next.